Imagine a world where two digital giants are fighting for the same throne. One is the established king, tested and trusted. The other, a rising contender promising a revolution. This isn't science fiction. This is the battle between Ethereum and Cardano, two of the most powerful smart contract platforms in the crypto space. And what's at stake? The future of decentralized applications, finance, and maybe even the internet itself. Ethereum, launched in 2015, is the first blockchain to bring programmable contracts into the mainstream. It allowed developers to build applications that run without central control smart contracts. This single innovation triggered an explosion of possibilities. Decentralized exchanges, NFTs, DeFi, DUAS. Ethereum was the foundation that turned crypto from a digital currency into a global movement. But Ethereum came with a cost. Literally, as its popularity surged, so did the gas fees. Transactions that once cost pennies were suddenly eating up hundreds of dollars. And the network, built on a proof-of-work model, struggled to scale. Delays, congestion, and energy consumption raised serious questions. Ethereum knew it had to evolve, and it has. The transition to Ethereum 2.0 with proof-of-stake and sharding is underway. But it's a massive transformation of a running machine. Enter Cardano. Founded by Charles Hoskinson, one of Ethereum's original co-founders, Cardano was built with a radically different philosophy. It's academic, peer-reviewed, and focused on getting it right from the start. While Ethereum took the move fast and break things approach, Cardano took the opposite paths, low, methodical, with every update reviewed by experts in formal methods in cryptography. Cardano uses proof-of-stake through its Ouroboros protocol, which claims to be not only energy efficient, but mathematically secure. From the beginning, Cardano emphasized scalability, sustainability, and interoperability. And while it took longer to enable smart contracts only doing so, in 2020, its goal was clear: to build a blockchain that doesn't just work, but lasts. So now we have two heavyweights, Ethereum, with the first-mover advantage and a massive developer community. It powers over 70% of DeFi apps and dominates NFT marketplaces. Billions of dollars flow through its network daily. Cardano, with a cleaner design and academic backbone, is expanding into regions like Africa, where it's helping create digital identities and real-world use cases that go far beyond speculation. But here's the real question. Is Cardano actually a threat to Ethereum's dominance? Or is this just hype? To answer that, we have to dig deeper, not just into technology, but into community, adoption, governance, and vision. Because in the world of crypto, code alone doesn't win. The people do. Stay with me. In the next chapter, we'll dive into the core architectures of Ethereum and Cardano, how they work, how they secure your data, and how they handle millions of transactions without breaking. And most importantly, which one is truly built for the future. Now, let's dive into the heart of the machines. How exactly do Ethereum and Cardano work under the hood? What's really happening behind every click, every transaction you make on these platforms? And more importantly, which one is better built for the future? Let's start with Ethereum. At its core, Ethereum was designed as a decentralized world computer. Imagine a global system where anyone can deploy an app that runs forever, can't be shut down by any government, corporation, or hacker. This is made possible by the Ethereum Virtual Machine, or EVM. The EVM is what allows developers to write and execute smart contracts in Solidity, Ethereum's native programming language. But here's where things start to get messy. The more complex the operation, the more gas it requires, and that gas, it's paid in ETH. That means during times of high demand, using Ethereum can get ridiculously expensive. There have been moments where minting a single NFT cost more in gas than the value of the NFT itself. And this brings us to Ethereum's biggest headache, scalability. The original Ethereum chain could only handle about 15 transactions per second. That move changed everything. By staking ETH instead of mining with energy-hungry GPUs, the network became greener, more efficient, and significantly more scalable. But it didn't fix everything. The core challenge remains Ethereum is trying to upgrade a plane mid-flight. Billions of dollars are moving across it daily. Every change has to be done with extreme caution. Now, let's look at Cardano. Unlike Ethereum, Cardano was built with a slow academic approach. It's not trying to move fast and break things as trying to get things right from the start. Every upgrade, every protocol, every consensus model in Cardano goes through peer-reviewed research. Sounds boring? Maybe. But it also means fewer bugs, fewer exploits, and a network that's incredibly stable. Cardano uses a proof-of-stake system called Ouroboros. It's not just energy efficient, it's mathematically proven to be secure. This makes it one of the most sustainable and robust blockchains in existence. And here's the kicker. Cardano doesn't use Solidity. Instead, it uses Plutus. This is great for security, but it comes with a trade-off. Developer adoption is slower because Haskell is harder to learn. In terms of scalability, Cardano has been planning for this since day one. Their Hydro protocol allows for processing thousands of transactions per second by creating parallel channels called heads. In theory, if enough heads are deployed, the network could scale infinitely. That's a bold promise, but it's not vaporware. Hydra is already being tested. But if Cardano is so technically sound, why hasn't it dominated the market yet? Well, here's the truth. Ethereum has the first mover advantage. It has the developer community, the dApps, the liquidity, the brand. Ethereum is where the money is literally. It powers DeFi, NFTs, DAOs, and more. Cardano, on the other hand, is still catching up. It's like a sleek, fuel-efficient vehicle waiting for the highway to open, while Ethereum is already racing at full speed, even if it needs constant repairs. And this contrast defines their rivalry. Ethereum is experimental, chaotic, battle-tested. Cardano is methodical, careful, and built like a fortress. One is a startup, the other a research lab. And depending on where the world heads, mass adoption or deep regulation, one may come out ahead. But before we can decide which one has the edge, we need to look at one final factor: real-world adoption. Which of these two chains is actually changing lives, moving economies, or solving real problems outside of crypto Twitter? That's where things get really interesting. Let's shift our focus to what matters most, what lies ahead. Ethereum and Cardano aren't just battling in the present. Their real war is over the future. And it's a future filled with unpredictable turns, game-changing upgrades, and global adoption that could redefine how we interact with money, data, and each other. Ethereum has one major advantage in this race: momentum. It has already secured a massive portion of the decentralized finance market, NFT platforms, and DAOs. Billions of dollars flow through Ethereum's ecosystem every single day. Its brand is strong, its developers are experienced, and its roadmap is aggressive. After the merge to proof-of-stake, Ethereum has its eyes set on future scalability through sharding and Layer 2 solutions like zk and Optimism. These technologies promise to dramatically increase transaction throughput, reduce fees, and expand Ethereum's use cases into gaming, identity verification, and even social media. But here's where it gets interesting. Cardano isn't playing catch-up anymore. It's playing the long game. Cardano's research-first approach might seem slow, but it has led to one of the most secure and formally verified platforms in the crypto space. And while Ethereum rushed to switch consensus models, Cardano was already operating on proof-of-stake from day one with the Ouroboros protocol. This isn't just marketing fluff. Ouroboros is mathematically proven to be secure and has been rigorously peer-reviewed. In many ways, Cardano is like a stealth aircraft. It may not be loud, but it's highly precise and engineered to avoid major crashes. Now, let's talk about adoption. Ethereum has deep roots in the Western tech world. Think of projects backed by consensus, integration with Meta, and support from financial giants like JP Morgan, Visa, and even governments exploring central bank digital currencies. This institutional confidence gives Ethereum enormous leverage. Developers and businesses feel safer building on Ethereum because of its established infrastructure. But Cardano has been making waves in regions that Ethereum hasn't fully reached, especially in Africa and Latin America. Cardano has partnered with governments in Ethiopia and Tanzania to bring blockchain to sectors like education and healthcare. These partnerships aren't just about tech, they're about real-world impact. Cardano's vision is to become the financial operating system for the unbanked, and that narrative is both powerful and timely. Another factor: community. Ethereum has a massive, vibrant, and often chaotic developer community. Hackathons, DeFi Summer, NFT Booms. Ethereum has proven it can attract talent, innovation, and capital. Cardano, on the other hand, has cultivated a deeply loyal following that believes in slow growth, academic rigor, and global transformation. These aren't just investors, they're ideological believers in Cardano's mission. So who wins? The answer isn't black and white. Ethereum will likely remain the king of DeFi and NFTs in the near term, especially as it scales. But Cardano has the chance to dominate in sectors where reliability, low fees, and regulatory compliance are key, like government infrastructure, identity systems, and real-world asset tracking. And remember, this space changes fast. A single upgrade, a killer dApp, or a shift in global regulation can flip the tables overnight. In the end, Ethereum and Cardano aren't just cryptocurrencies. They're visions of the future two paths leading to a decentralized world. In the end, this isn't just about blockchains. It's about how we shape the future of value, freedom, and trust. Ethereum and Cardano represent more than technology. They represent two different philosophies for how the world can be rebuilt from the ground up. One through rapid innovation, the other through careful precision. But here's the truth. The real power isn't just in The real power is in youth learning, questioning, and preparing to take action before the rest of the world catches on. Because the next financial revolution won't be televised. It will be unlocked by those who paid attention when no one else was looking. So if this video sparked something in you, if it made you think, subscribe now to Wealth Unlocked, where we don't just talk about money, we reveal the systems behind it. Comment the word decentralize below to show your part of this new era. And don't forget, wealth isn't found, it's unlocked.